Welcome to the Living in Utah live question and answer session. Thursday, April the 25th. Boy, is the year flying by. Always have to look at the calendar like twice to really believe that it's already April the 25th. Just an open forum. You're welcome to ask whatever questions you would like. If you want to talk about the state of Utah, the United States, I'm game. Tonight, I want to talk about tourism for the state of Utah. What kind of money does it bring in? A new report that came out on the season that last ski season, which would be 2022, 2023. I'm sure the 2024 or 23-24 winter hasn't, the numbers haven't been tallied yet. Some areas are still trying to go. But this is just the ski industry. It is a $2 billion industry that was brought into the state of Utah, most of it from out-of-state visitors. The exact number is $1.94 billion. And out of that $1.94 billion, $197 million goes towards state and local tax revenue. Almost $200 million. There were 7.1 million skier days in the season. Nearly 26,000 direct jobs, making it possible for that to happen. And when they say 7.1 million skier days, they're referring to overall. So when it comes to the amount of people that come in from outside the state, compared to the people who live in the state that use the ski resorts, 44% of the people who skied in Utah lived in the state of Utah. So 56% are all from another state or another country. When you divide up the 56%, 8% came from California, 4% came from New York. Now that's a long, I was shocked when I see 4%. I mean, I see California and places like Arizona. If you want really good skiing, you have to come to the state of Utah. But there are some great ski resorts on the East Coast, but people are choosing to come from New York. 4% came from New York, 3% from Florida. Here's another stunning number that I was surprised. 2% came from Colorado, just right next door. And 2% were international travelers or come from an international country. And 34% of the rest of the 56% comes from the rest of the United States, like Texas and New Mexico and North Dakota and stuff like that. Anyways, it's a large number. Like I say, it's bringing in almost $200 million just in tax revenue. And keep in mind, that is just in the skiing industry. Come the summer months here, even right now, and this is the best time actually to go to the national parks. A lot of people choose like July and August. What's the hottest time of year? Some of them national parks are 110 degrees. Right now is the perfect time, 80-degree weather, in my opinion. Maybe some people like going to the national parks at 100 degrees plus. Not one of my favorite things to do. But big tourism time period we're heading into now with the 5 national parks that we have that will generate billions of dollars again to local economies, to the sales tax revenue, and help the state go. So we are a year-round money-making machine, tourist destination. So yeah, where, I'm just going to take a wild guess on this, and I don't know the exact numbers, but if you take a state like the state of Arizona, great state, I would imagine that during the summer months, tourism is not as popular as the winter months. A lot of people like to go during the wintertime when it's 80-degree weather. That's when I like to go. I'm not a big fan of going to Phoenix or Tucson when it's 110, 115 degrees in June, July, August, May, June, July, August. Not too sure. I lived in Tucson when I was a kid, and our school had no air conditioning. This is going back many years. And we used to get out of school, I think, like beginning of May, because it was just too hot to be. And as a kid, I spent my summers in the base swimming pool, just about all summer. Very good swimmer. Hello. Can you give a shout out? Yes. How are you doing? Where are you joining us from? Around the world, I should ask. I talk to people from all over the world. Some I've mentioned this story before, but when the Russia invasion into the Ukraine, a family from Ukraine was watching my videos, actually called me because they were moving to Utah as part of the program to get them out of Ukraine and set up homestead in the United States. And I don't know if I ever asked them if they chose Utah or they were told this is where you're going to, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not too sure. But anyways, it was very touching to the heart that I helped just a wee little bit with, people that, very hard time in their life. And I've actually kept in contact with them via email, like at Christmas time, we'll like send an email and stuff like that. And they're doing very well in the state of Utah, having a great time. It's been a great move for them. And it's very sad. They've got family members still in Ukraine. So every day their thoughts are somewhere else. With the Coyotes coming for NHL, what will happen to our Grizzlies? That's a good question, but I guess my question would be, it all boils down to price. Can you afford to go to an NHL game? When I look at the basketball, there's big support for the Jazz, but there's also big support for college basketball. Weber State, even like Weber State University up in Ogden, and University of Utah and BYU and Utah State. Utah State, matter of fact, they sell out most games. And some of it's to do, well, a lot of people like the college sports, but some of it is to do with the price. It's tough to take a family of 4. Well, in Utah, sometimes it's a family of 6, family of 8 to a Jazz game. You can have a $500 or $1,000 night going to one game. So I know many families that will take their kids to like a Weber State game, $10 a ticket. So you could take a family of 4 for like $40 and have a good time. So I'm not too sure what the University of Utah basketball tickets are currently, but anyways, that would be my question. Can you afford to go to an NHL game? If you're a family, especially if you're a family, if you're a single individual, yeah, I get it. But if you're a family, or will you decide to maybe go to 1 or 2 NHL games and then go to many, many more Grizzly games? So I think that's where it, I think there's room for both. So we are, I consider the state of Utah a sports-loving state. The Jazz. I don't know. We were on a 12 or 13 game losing streak the other week. Had a home game, sold out. I mean, fans came out to a team that was losing. Non-playoff team. They were eliminated from the playoffs way before. And they had lost like 12 games in a row. The fans still came out to support the Jazz. So, does that happen in many cities? So that's my question. I don't travel around the United States to know, but I can tell you that happens at the Jazz. So, I think that it'll be good for the state of Utah, and I think NHL will succeed in Utah. I do like the owners of the Jazz and the NHL hockey. The man is a younger man with a lot of ambition, and he sold his company. I'm not too sure the best way to word it, but he sold his company for about $7 to $7.5 billion. Billion dollars. Some people will be like, okay, I'm done in life. But Ryan Smith has decided to, he's working every single day or most days, has a lot of ambition, with the Jazz and with the hockey, and, he just go, 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 go. Reminds me of like Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban made millions and billions of dollars, but he still shows up every day and has a drive that is, unbelievable. So Ryan Smith is cut from the same mold. He is very excited with the sports teams that he owns, and so I think it'll be a success. It'll go great also with the fact that if we do get the Olympics in 2034, which we'll find out this summer, I think it kind of goes hand in hand, with all the other winter activities that we have going on here, kind of blends in with the state. Any more questions this evening? It's been some beautiful weather in northern Utah. We have 70 to 80 degree temperatures, just absolutely perfect if you want to go mountain biking, golfing, work in the garden, mow your grass. Just some beautiful weather. A little bit of a storm coming through. I noticed outside had a little bit of rain. We're supposed to get a little bit more rain overnight, a little bit on Saturday. We're going to drop down to like the upper 60s. So it's going to cool off a little bit, but back to the 80 degree weather come next week. We are doing great. Thanks for asking. Last year was a very challenging year for my family. And my wife had some medical procedures that, in the second half of the year was not fun, but hopefully we are on the rebound and things are going a little bit better. But there was some little tough time. I actually, we had vacations planned last year, and we actually had to cancel some of those vacations. So catch up this year. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Take care and stay safe.